Like, we will get back there. It's a significantly bigger market, significantly higher attach opportunity, significantly longer ability to have a relationship with a buyer and a seller. So if you assume that, like, if you just do a rational, by the way, I'm a math nerd, right? I was a mathlete growing up. I live like I'm not a word cell. If you do the math on a potential company and just discount it back, I think the stock is like reasonably priced. I would have bought at this price. In fact, I did buy at a higher price than the current price.
Bunch of different things.
Okay, so that was the Opendoor CEO. Then you had Shkreli, who said this yesterday on his stream about Opendoor.
The interest expense of the company would wipe out all the earnings, even if all the costs went down almost to zero. JC, I'm not the retard. I took my first company public at 28. I went to school for the intellectually gifted. I'm a world-renowned genius. The first company I took public was worth $2.5 billion. You're the moron. You're buying a stock because you read it on Reddit or something. You saw it on Twitter. Ooh, I see this ticker. What is it? Oh, everybody says it's good. Let me buy some. How many stocks did you look at to find this one stock? What stocks did you reject to come to the conclusion that this is the one that belongs in your portfolio? For real, some of you guys need to be locked up. Locked up like Sanitarium, man. Bellevue. Stupid as shit. I wouldn't let you walk my dog. I wouldn't let you feed my cat.
Okay, so obviously, two different perspectives. Dude, I was seeing that. I was dying, bro. See, like, there's a different personality that some people have when they're streaming, okay? I would never call anyone in my audience stupid as shit and say you need to be locked up in solitary confinement for buying a stock. I may disagree with the perspective, but I just wouldn't say that. But you got Shkreli, who doesn't give a shit, bro. He's not really a creator from that perspective. He'll say whatever the hell he wants. And quite frankly, it can become very entertaining. I don't know if it's going to get that many people to be a fan of him, but that was kind of funny. So you got two different perspectives, right? You got one guy who's saying, hey, Opendoor, the valuation is justified. It's being priced as an AI startup, and we're going to grow into the potential. And then you got Shkreli, who's like, dude, this is a $7 billion company trading at 20 times sales. They're growing at 5%. They haven't made a profit in their history. Just because rates come down doesn't mean their margins increase. So what the hell are we talking about? And I don't know who's going to be right. So far, obviously, it's been Opendoor and the community that's been around Opendoor. But over time, we're going to see, which one ends up being right. The one thing about stocks that have momentum is that if there is nothing real to the momentum can fade very quickly. Even if it has a 5 to 7 month run, which is basically what GameStop had. GameStop had, what was it, September 2020 to about May of 2021, and then it just faded, and it really collapsed around February 2021. Opendoor has just been since June, right? It's been a couple weeks, been about 2 months, and so maybe that lasts for another 10 months in terms of just hype and mania, or maybe the company turns it around. And I think you got to give them at least a year to try to turn things around. And I am bullish that this CEO, who doesn't get paid until the stock gets to 33, is very incentivized. He left a couple $100 million on the table at Shopify for this opportunity. But if it's all just hype, the hype eventually dies out. But if there's something real, then we're going to see in the numbers when they change around. So we got to see. Desi says, I'm still laughing. Dude, I was randomly listening to that yesterday. And I was just like, did he actually say that, bro? Did he actually, like, it was funny, bro. It was funny.
Find this one stock. What stocks did you reject to come to the conclusion that this is the one that belongs in your portfolio? For real, some of you guys need to be locked up.
Dude, as soon as he said that. And then he made a joke about the police sirens in his background. And he was like, oh, maybe they're coming for me. They like locking me up. This guy, it was funny. He's a funny guy. He's a funny personality. And he obviously doesn't care about, the way he talks to his audience, because he doesn't care about having an audience. He just cares about, he just does him, dude. He just does him. And sometimes it ends up being funny. Yeah, and it's hilarious because says the guy who went to jail. Exactly. But I think that's the meme. He like leans into that meme. which is why it's funny. Just for fun, I'm going to start buying the companies that have the biggest Palantir contracts. If Palantir works, the people buying the product should start to work. Dude, we've been thinking of starting this like Palantir ETF for a while. Let's make a new watch list right now. Let's call it companies that use Palantir, but it has to be the biggest companies. So let's just make a list right here. So BP, and I want to make a lot of these watch lists going into 2026 so we can get a better understanding of it. At BP, Lear, it's not the biggest company, but they signed a big extension. United, I believe, uses Palantir. United Airlines, I think United Health might also use them, but I know for sure United Airlines use them. What else? What other big companies that are public? Oh, wait. That's the wrong ticker. Lear. Lear. Wait, that is the right ticker. Yeah, Lear. Okay.